Okay, few exercises for the back muscles. So most of them will be done lying on the belly. If for whatever reason you cannot lie on the belly, there are other options. For example, like the so-called bird dog. So you're on your forest and you just extend one leg and the opposite arm. So few things you can do is to pull your toes towards yourself, keep the toes like in vertical line. Also the palm you can do vertically and try to like push against the floor, like activate the abdominal muscles a little bit. So you're not like falling in your back. So gather your abdominal muscles to the center and look down, extend your neck. So you go one side, then the other side. You can repeat 20 repetitions. You can start with 10. And then if you feel okay, go for another 10. One thing, like for those whose knees are kind of sensitive, you can put something soft under knees. So then you will do the same thing. So if you want more challenge, like let's say you do 20 of those, then you extend one leg, one arm, and then you lift the fingers of the supporting leg. So you would need to hold the balance. It's pretty challenging. You still need to engage the core and activate the back muscles. So let's see if you can do it for 10 or 20 seconds. And all the while you have to breathe. So that's one. But most of them will be like lying on your belly. So, well, first thing you can do is actually to relax your breathing, your muscles. So the toes are together, heels are wide, and you basically just relax and breathe as if you're breathing up to your tailbone. So you feel the lower abdomen expanding. So you can repeat 10 breaths like that. So then you'll start to activate. So raise one leg, then the other. That's a simple thing. Again, 10 or 20 repetitions at first. So, but here's the thing, for many people, like lifting the leg or the upper back creates tension in the lower back. So quite often it is recommended actually to have some sort of pillow. So in this way, your lower back is not like falling that far to the floor. You're like more even in your back. So when you would lift the leg now, your lower back would not hyperextend, right? So pillow might be a great help for quite a few people. So you can continue with the pillow if that's comfortable for you. So then you add, next one will be add like the opposite arm and a little bit, you can also lift the head a little bit. So one more variation will be have your forehead supported on the forearm, and let's say the left arm is straight with the thumb facing up, and the right leg, the toes are down and knees extended like off the floor. So we'll go just that side, and you can do simultaneously and a bit faster. So let's say 20 repetitions, and then the other side. Okay, if you want more intensity, you can also do the leg lifting, but like as if you're swimming. So have some intensity, have some muscles stabilizing over there. Okay, for the more like upper back, you can have say palms facing upwards, and then you kind of retract your head, shoulders, lift your arms, and face the palms down. So you would have your lower back extending, but also the arm turning would activate muscles between shoulder blades. Don't try to look too much forward, you're looking more like to the floor. And kind of lifting up in this way. So again, 10 or 20 repetitions. Next one will be as if you're like trying to pull something. So you would lift and pull your elbows and lower angles of the shoulder blades like together. And then you go forward again on exhalation. Okay, to make it more intense, you can have your feet on the toes, like knees over the floor, and try to even lift your navel, like your abdomen off the floor, so you kind of create the space between the floor and your belly, if that's possible. So this is pretty tough. And then you do the same thing to basically stabilize the lower back, and then work the upper back. So if you want even more, you can lift some, let's say, take half a liter of water, like fill the bottle and have some weight in your palm. Okay, so what else? Actually, one more thing is quite interesting. You could try to, like, if you have a physio ball, you can use that or have some pillow. So you could try to lift your body from flexed position to neutral position, like using your back muscles. So be careful with this. If it creates discomfort, skip it. But basically, what we're trying to do is to engage those small muscles in between the vertebrae. Because if you're like just lying flat on the floor and extending, you would just train, this kind of activity. But quite often during the day, we have to bend somewhere and lift something up. So it makes sense to activate the muscles from a flexed position, like carefully, slowly, but still, like if it doesn't create any discomfort, I usually recommend to extend from a slightly flexed position. So you can help with the hands a little bit. Just try to kind of roll yourself up. Again, you have to find your kind of range of motion where it's comfortable. And like, if it's getting like easy, you can like do it without support of your arms, or you can even add some weight, like hands behind the head, or even extended hands. Okay. So also the side muscles will be good. It will be good to activate those. So you just have your elbow below your shoulder and just extend. So that's the easy way. Then have the 10 repetitions with the upper leg in front. Have the same thing. So harder would be to have the upper leg on the lower leg. Okay. So as for the abdominal muscles, like even here you activate them. We did that already. But if you really want to, do something about your abdominal muscles, So first of all, forget about the six-pack. It doesn't do much for you in terms of functionality in everyday life. But if you do, then first of all, try to not to do the high school like thing, high school abdominal exercises. It's way more sensible to activate the deeper layers and to isolate the abdominal muscles, because the high thing is actually the leg hip flexors that are doing, I would say, most of the work when you lift your body up. So have, let's say, arms crossed or behind the head, have your chin tucked in a little bit. You can even take, let's say, tennis ball in order to keep the chin tucked, and just lift a little bit. So lift as far as you can, just feel your abdominal muscles activating, and that's it. If you want to target those, that's the way. Or if you want to target the even more the deeper layer, so you would go with anchoring one elbow and connecting the other elbow with the opposite knee on the exhalation. Again, 10 or 20 repetitions. Start slowly, start consciously, and then you can add speed, add weight, and activate and train those muscles. That's quite important. Okay.